Bitcoin just crossed major resistance, and if you want to know what are the 8 tiny market cap coins with the most upside potential, then you've arrived at the right show, because I'm gonna break every single one of them down, so pay attention right until the end, okay? No time to waste today. This is gonna be an insanely bullish week. So 1, 2, 3, let's get on to it. All right, here we are with Bitcoin's resistance. This was the previous high right here on 23rd of Friday. Bitcoin price just crossed it. So I think you could see some type of bounce. I'm still not 100%, deployed in the market. Okay, I'm still holding mostly stables, but I'm going to tell you the ones that are looking the best today so that you can prepare for the next major run so that we can take as much profits as possible. Bitcoin is gaining strength again. This is bullish. And so we need to get ready for what's coming this week. Starting off with cards. Just as I was predicting cards, I showed this one in my private group. By the way, private group is going to be in the description. I shilled it on the private. It was at around 50 mil market cap, more than double. Kind of insane how high some of these coins go. Sometimes it's better to buy something at 50 mil, get yourself 70% trade. I sold before a 2x, but you can get a 2x, you can get a 70%. Brand new narrative. This Pokemon card RWA narrative is very, very strong right now. 120 mil. I think right now it's the strongest narrative of all. And just as I said, the beta, which is still correcting while the main play is actually going into new all-time highs, I would grab some. And I did right around here. As I told you, it went a little bit deeper. I think 3 million market cap was probably the best buy. I think 4 million is still a good buy, and I'm inclined to think 𝗏𝗔𝗥𝗧 is going to bounce, and it can do something like 15-20 mil market cap anywhere in here a little bit after a new all-time high. I think is a good place to take some profits on 𝗏𝗔𝗥𝗧. On to the next. 𝗵𝗵 looking incredibly strong. I think we're at a point where 𝗵𝗵 is encountering some resistance. The buybacks continue. $2 million every single day into the chart. This is great, even though some people are saying it's not great. This is actually great. It's amazing. I mean, just look at the results. Soon it's probably going to be at all-time highs, especially if Bitcoin just continues and goes to like 15, 115, 117. I would expect pump to be at all-time highs by then, and this is going to create a wealth effect. I don't think we're going to see those 100k 10 million runners daily until we are at least at all-time highs of 𝗵𝗵, have that wealth effect, and then the capital is going to rotate into mid caps like the next one, which is Troll. Just as I predicted, it went to 150 mil market cap. I think that was the bottom. Let me clean the chart up. So these were the two possibilities. It either was going to break resistance, then turn resistance into support and continue into half a bill market cap, or you could get a pullback to 150 mil. So I don't know if the market makers are watching the video or what, or maybe I was just, right, but we got our 150 mil entry on something like Troll. Maybe what's happening to Troll is the same thing that happened here before Escape Velocity, where we just went kind of sideways until this major run to almost 300 mil market cap. Maybe it's the same thing. We're just gonna do a little bit of sideways. Maybe it might take a month. Maybe by the beginning of October, we have the next expansion. If it's at 200 mil, 150 mil, and if it's just gonna do sideways like that, then the next expansion, I think you guys know where Troll's gonna go. Probably gonna go to a billion market cap if it can sustain this range. Another one that's very important, we have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is currently at support. This one is on base. So in the previous days, we were seeing Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin. Ethereum right now is just 30% away from new all-time highs. What's gonna happen is ETH has been outperforming Bitcoin, but the thing is we need to see Bitcoin strength first, and then we can see stuff like ETH, etc. do well. And then capital will rotate from wealth effect into mid caps, larger caps, etc. When it comes to ETH, the highest potential coin I'm seeing is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Very simple. First meme on the base, it's the base mascot. It's listed on Coinbase. Very few meme coins are actually listed on Coinbase. American retail is the most important capital. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is the one that's gonna get it. So if there's a meme coin on support that I think can 10x, where you could in theory get with good liquidity, get something that's listed on Coinbase, and you can get a ton of money, and you can enter with some size, I think this is the one currently at support. And then what you can do is have a very tight stop loss. So let's say the price goes to 200 million. Okay, let me take my stop loss there, or maybe below 200 mil market cap, I'll take my stop loss. So you can have a pretty tight stop loss for a meme coin there as well. And it has decent liquidity, so you can enter with 6 figures. On to the next, we have 𝗏𝗏 looks like it's finally leaving this accumulation range. This was the best possible price between 86 and 100 mil market cap, and it's now at 112, and it looks like it wants to break resistance. Why? Because Hyperliquid is pumping. This is another one just like Pump. Okay, these are the two main altcoins right now, but Hyperliquid is just, it looks like it wants to go 20 billion market cap. That's what it looks like it wants to go, and that means it's meme coin, which of course there's less liquidity in it. It's probably going to outperform once you have wealth effects, and once these hype whales are rich and they're thinking, where can I put 200k, $1 million on meme coins on my chain? This is probably the one they're gonna buy. So I'm bullish 𝗏𝗏. I'm bullish Hype as well, but I'm pretty convinced that 𝗏𝗏 can outperform Hyperliquid when we have Hype seasonality and Hype becomes like the main thing. And then finally we have Useless currently at support. So we had this major resistance here on 18th of July. It acted also as resistance mid-August. It also acted as resistance on the 23rd of August. And right now we're touching it right now. So in theory, we can get a little bit of a pullback again, maybe a good entry at 180. If we do get a break above this, then I would expect us to revisit revisit this resistance at 350 mil market cap, and that could be actually a good trade after resistance gets broken, and you can get something like 50% trade or close to a 50% trade, which if you trade with size, it's a pretty damn good scalp. And I think this expansion post resistance could be fast, or we could revisit all-time highs, but I would just maybe scalp this for like a 50% scalp and then get out. So we either gonna get the break of resistance and touch of the next resistance, which is very close to 350, or we are going to go back to something like 190 and 180. So I would say right here would be a good place to accumulate. So that's what I'm seeing when it comes to useless. That said, let's recapitulate. Bitcoin is still on a downtrend. We're now seeing sideways, which is bullish for bigger alts. It's not so bullish necessarily for mid caps. It's definitely not bullish for small caps, because on-chain volume right now is basically dead. Okay, there's no on-chain volume. There's no appetite to take risk on tiny caps, because everyone here knows that we can actually go lower and revisit something like 105, which was previous resistance in January 23rd and all throughout the end of January. And also it was major resistance mid-December. It was also resistance in May. It was also support in July, and it can become support again. So I think everyone's thinking, well, there's a likelihood of it going to 105. Therefore, maybe I wait for dips a little bit deeper. And basically everyone is waiting for confirmation, maybe waiting for Bitcoin to come and regain 115, 114. And that's when things will start moving with a lot more pace. That's where I think we are at. As long as Bitcoin is doing this sideways thing, finding some difficulty breaking this resistance, reaccumulating here before the next leg up, I don't think we're going to see, you know, tiny caps just having these insane runs. So that's where we're at. Large caps, stuff like pump.fund, these are the best trades so far. Hype as well. And then stuff like useless, stuff like troll, these have been performing well in terms of like trades, because some people with size are positioning. Stuff on base still hasn't moved, but the tiny stuff, it just is finding difficulty outside of this Pokemon narrative. So right now I'm positioned, I got some hutch, and I think I can do pretty well. So see you guys tomorrow.